everyone. Thanks for being here. We were blessed to be able to win the regional. Nothing was easy, which nothing this season's been easy for us. It's been a long year, with COVID, no fans, protocols, 4 games in 3 days. So just really was pumped to see the fans to be at max capacity and to see our crowd to be able to enjoy a regional championship here in Greenville. So that was awesome. And look, we had a little practice today, light practice, and we'll get on a plane tomorrow, head to Nashville, and obviously play a great Vanderbilt opponent. Tim Corbin is a great friend, great mentor of mine. I worked there for a year, and I think if Malcolm can fact check, I think it was 04-05. I was director of baseball operations there at Vandy. Corbs gave me an opportunity to do that, and I learned as much in 1 year's time about what it takes to be a Division I head coach at a high level that year than any place I've ever been. It was like drinking out of a fire hydrant, and Corbs was very good to me. He's been good to me ever since that day, and I just appreciate everything he's done for me.
Okay, we'll go to questions for Coach Godwin.
Coach, I think it was earlier this year where you kind of mentioned you reached out to Coach Corbin to, I guess, learn how to handle maybe losing better. What do you remember about that conversation? And have you guys kept in touch pretty regularly over the years?
We have kept in touch regularly over the years. I'm laughing because Corbs handles losing about as good as I do. So it was pretty funny, the comments that we shared. And that stuff's personal, but he has grown up some just like I have, and you try to, put your focus on your family and other things to get your mind off of it. But Corbs, he's a lot like me when it comes to losing. Of course, we hate losing.
Even without maybe diving too much into the personnel, but knowing him and when you were there, do they have a typical style you're kind of expecting on offense, defense? Do you kind of know, regardless of the players, what they typically kind of like to do with his style at all?
Well, Corbs definitely doesn't need to change his signs because I didn't even know the signs when I was there as director of baseball operations. So I was too worried about other stuff, and I said I'm not going to worry about what the signs are. I'm going to do my job and try to help any way I can. So he definitely doesn't need to change any signs because I don't know him. He probably will anyway because he thinks I'm probably telling a fib here, but I really didn't know him when I was there. Look, they're going to be fundamentally sound. They've got great pitching. They're going to play great defense. They're going to be able to execute any situation, whether it's the small games, stealing a base, hitting the ball out of the park. And look, you're not as consistent as Vanderbilt has been unless you have a lot of talent and you're well coached. And that's a credit to Corbs and his staff and what they've done over, the past years that he's been there.
Coach, obviously, Rocker and Leiter get a lot of headlines, but, you look at their offense, batting .300 in the SEC. Just are they kind of the complete team, not only on the mound, those two guys, but offensively too?
They wouldn't be where they are today if they weren't a complete team. So I guess we'll have to, see in person how really good they are, but they're good. Look, I've watched them on TV a few times. Not that I was bearing down on them because – you never know who you're going to be matched up with down the road. So I'll start diving into them more tomorrow. But as usual, we're going to worry about ourselves more than we worry about our opponent just because we want to go in and play our best baseball. That's the key.
Cliff, will you go with Gavin Williams in game 1?
Al, we haven't discussed it yet. We're going to see how everybody continues to feel. But we'll figure it out in the next day or so.
Was Vanderbilt playing at Hawkins Field when you were there?
Yes, a lot has changed externally. The stuff underneath their offices and the weight room and the cages and stuff. I was back there. I guess my last time was when I was at Ole Miss, and obviously I had done a lot of renovation. But Corbs normally gets what he wants there, so the facility is as nice as it can be. They've got the best of everything from pitching indoors, hitting indoors, weight rooms, and a good fan base as well.
On Gavin, whether he pitches, I guess, Friday or Saturday, pretty rare a talent like that could be maybe overlooked in a matchup, or the underdog, I guess, in a matchup against one of those guys? I mean, you think that's motivation for him? I mean, do you kind of play up the, hey, you're the underdog type thing and so much attention on the Vanderbilt guys?
Well, I mean, I don't think anybody gives us a snowball's chance in hell to win the Super Regional. So we're going to go out there and compete, see what happens. But, yes, Gavin will pitch either game 1 or game 2. He will pitch one of those 2 games.
Coach, to go back to Gavin, I wanted to ask you, for him to, I guess, overcome some of the injuries that he's had and even the shortened season to have more of a increased role this year, how much does that help the squad getting up to this point, getting to the Super Regional?
Well, there's no secret. If Gavin Williams was not our Friday night starter, we would not be sitting where we are today. I mean, what he has done for us and solidifying the Friday night role, he's as good of an ace as we've ever had here. I mean, going back to 19 when we had Jake Agnos, and Jake had logged more innings up until that point, up until this point. But Gavin Williams has been special. I mean, every time he's gone out there, he's given us an opportunity to win. Even last weekend when he didn't have his best stuff, he's given us a chance to win against some really good opponents, and he's held his own. So I want him to go out there and be himself this weekend.
Vanderbilt and East Carolina are 2 of the only 3 teams with multiple Golden Spike semifinalists. So how does it feel to be playing in a matchup with this much star power?
We're just happy to be playing in a Super Regional. And of course, Vandy's got star power. And I'm glad that a couple of our guys have been recognized for their great years. And it's a team effort. I mean, look, none of us would be where we are today without being a great team, and that's the thing I'm most proud of is our guys have been selfless throughout the entire year.
I guess the news of the today was the game times and day and kind of that becoming official. What do you think about having that noon time slot again, I guess, this year?
It's much better this year than it was 2 years ago when we finished up at 1:30 a.m. on basically Tuesday morning and then had to flip around and play the first time slot of a Super Regional. So I thought Corbs would definitely get a night game because I figured he had a direct line to the NCAA to pick whatever time he had. So I haven't spoke to him on the phone. Him and I have been playing phone tag today. So I'm going to give him a hard time and say, hey, I thought you and the NCAA were so tight that you just pick your game time. Maybe he wanted noon. Maybe that's why we're playing at noon. Who knows?
Okay, do you have anything else for Coach Godwin? Igo, you got something?
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned kind of the underdog mentality, I guess. Is that something you address with the team, or do you not have to address it, kind of leading up to this weekend going against the defending national champs?
If I have to motivate our guys for this weekend, then we're not going to win. So I think they'll be ready to go. I know they'll be ready to go. Look, they're excited. Look, if you're playing in a Super Regional, you're always excited. So we're excited to face a great opponent. We know it's going to be very difficult to go there and win a couple games, but we're going to go out there and compete, do what we've done all year.
Coach, you mentioned that you know so much about Vanderbilt, that history of that program, but with this pandemic over the last year, they're kind of technically the defending national champs. They're also from the SEC. I mean, you could almost pick from a group of things to, with the lot, all the accomplishments that Corbin's got with this program. How do you kind of pitch this to your team? Do you just ignore what's that Vanderbilt tradition and history, or is it a merit of to try to go and try to keep them from getting to Omaha?
Well, that's a loaded question. You kind of ask a bunch of questions in there. So it's been a long time.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. But it's been a long time since I have worked at Vanderbilt. I was at the 2019 National Championship Series because 2 of my former teammates here at East Carolina, Eric Backage, the head coach at Michigan, and Nick Schnabel, the assistant, was playing Vanderbilt. And in my ties to those 2 guys, they're 2 of my best friends, and plus what Corbs has done for me, giving me an opportunity to be a director of baseball operations there and been a mentor of mine. So very familiar with just kind of what goes on. But look, I don't know their personnel like I did when I was coaching there. And then to your SEC, Vanderbilt, national champions, defending national champions, look, it is what it is. I do get sick of hearing about the SEC because I've coached in the SEC twice and been to Omaha twice in the SEC program. So we're not a little league program, and we're pretty good. and we'll be ready to go on Friday.
Cliff, you've coached a lot of great teams. Why is this team the team that can make it to Omaha?
Tyler, I don't know if this team is the one that's going to go to Omaha, and neither does anybody on this Zoom call. So, and the only person that does is the big man up top, God. But what I can tell you is I'm in a better place in my life to know that our guys have competed their tails off, worked their tails off to put themselves in a situation to go there. And Eric Backage and I were talking last Monday, and for the first time it just kind of clicked to me because Eric said it. He goes, when Coach LeClaire was here and he talked about Omaha all the time, Omaha wasn't the destination. It was a lifestyle. And I stepped back for a minute and I told our team that before the regional is, look, everybody puts this so much emphasis on going to Omaha and playing the College World Series. Look, only 8 teams go. And we've knocked on the door however many times, 30 regionals, and hey, it's very well talked about that we're the team that's been to more regionals that's never made to Omaha. So I wear that scarlet letter with pride because we've been there a lot. And I made the last out in a super regional in 2001. Cliff Godwin, last out, my last at bat of my senior year. So this team's not going to be, in my opinion, it's not going to be measured by if we make it to the College World Series or not. It's what we've done so far and the 3.69 team GPA and the guys we're putting out into the world, man. That's the thing that matters to me. So, of course, we're going to go compete. But I get really, to be honest with you, tired of, hey, is this the team? I got no idea. I know this. If they continue to allow me to coach at East Carolina, we're going to play in the College World Series at some point in time. Is it this year? I got no idea.
Going on that, when you, as a coach and a player, the transition from a regional to a super regional, can you sense how different it is, either just mentally, pressure, I don't know. What is it like from weekend to weekend as far as when you get to super regional? Does it change a whole lot or no?
Well, as a player, I wasn't worried about anything but making sure that I was ready to go and our team was ready to go because I was one of the captains. But as a player, it's, of course you got nerves and you got butterflies and stuff like that. But as a player, it was just go out there and play and do what you do. And as a coach, you want to make sure your players in the right mindset. You want them to play the same that they've played all year, not play differently. But it really is, it's postseason baseball, and we've been playing that for 2 weeks, going back to the conference tournament. You really can look at it, and as I think or somebody asked last week, hey, this last weekend was the first important games that we played all year. Well, we had to play a lot of important games to be in a situation to host a regional. So you can really look at the entire season as postseason baseball.
Okay, are there any other questions for Coach Godwin? Okay, Coach, thank you for your time.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, just give us a second and we'll get one of the players up here. Okay, hey Connor, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing well. Okay, guys, we'll go to questions right now for Connor Norby.
Connor, obviously will be a lot of talk about how good Vanderbilt is, how good their pitchers are, that stuff leading up to this week. But how important is it to, obviously respect the opponent, but also focus on you guys and continue to do what y'all have done to this point?
We look at them no differently than we look at anyone else. It's just another week. We prepare the same. Yeah, they're good, but so are we. You got to treat it like any other game. And we've talked, the motto all year has been you got to go through the front door to go to Omaha. So you can't go through the back.
How did practice just go today? How have y'all kind of recovered, handled since, the other night? I mean, if y'all kind of recovered from that and, what was practice like today?
Today was a lighter day as far as practice goes, but, I mean, the mentality is still the same. Prepare for this weekend. I mean, we're going to be ready to go. But I mean, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun this weekend. But right now, we're just worried about today and handling our business today.
Coach kind of poked fun at you about social media. So did you get your social media time in before y'all have to shut it down?
I did, yeah. My mom actually texted me about it, but I got all caught up, so don't worry.
Hey, with Vanderbilt, obviously Rocker and Leiter, are national guys. Have you, as a player, did you know about them, or have you heard about them prior to this week? I mean, just as following the sport, did you know about them, and their names at all, even coming into the season or anything?
Yeah. I mean, we watch college baseball all the time. I mean, if you don't know about them, then you clearly aren't on social media or watch college baseball. They're good, but I mean, they can be beat. They're like any other pitcher. They can be beat. And we're gonna go there and handle our business, and we're just gonna grind. We have to grind on them, and I don't know what the report for them is yet, but we're gonna be ready to go, and we'll have everything that we need to know going in.
As a competitor, don't you get excited though to face the best? I mean, obviously, doesn't that get your juice flowing a little bit?
Absolutely. It's going to be a really fun atmosphere to play in. They're really good, but like I said before, so are we. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be a challenge, but at this time of the year, everybody's good. Even in everyone who makes postseason baseball is really good, and especially now, it's even better. That's why it's so hard every year to win, because of the talent level on each team and stuff like that. But like I said before, we're looking forward to it.
When you look at preparing for a regional and there's three different teams, there's double elimination, it's more of a tournament style versus this weekend. You're one opponent, 3 games. Is that a different kind of preparation or different game plan type of thing? If it's just you and Vanderbilt and that's it?
You treat it like any other weekend going into postseason baseball. It's no different really. They're the same. You're going to play. You got to know their entire roster from top to bottom. But as far as preparation goes, it's no different than any other weekend prior to postseason baseball.
Hey, are there any other questions for Connor?
Connor, I wanted to ask you about your teammate Gavin Williams, who is 10-0. He has the second most wins out of anyone in the country this year without a loss. So I wanted to ask you, from your perspective, with this past season in mind and also this coming weekend, what type of attitude and leadership does he bring to this team, and how much has he been a help this year?
He's awesome. Luckily he is my roommate, so I'm around him a little bit more than other guys, but from the jumps he's made, even from last year to this year, it's unbelievable. He's got that mentality now, and he's dangerous. He's really good, and I'm really proud of him and what he's done. But I know he's going to be ready to go come Friday or Saturday, whenever he throws. But he's the real deal. It's a lot of fun playing behind him. I'm glad I'm not in the box facing him every other weekend.
What about you and being in the leadoff spot, especially? I mean, how important could be, not that you're going to hit a home run or a try on your first at bat, but just getting some early momentum for the whole team, or, especially against those pitchers. Do you think that's would be important for y'all to kind of settle in and maybe score a few runs early?
I mean, I look at my job as I try to get on base and help the team any way I can. I got some pretty good dudes right behind me in the lineup, and 1 through 9, we're solid as anyone else in the country. And I don't look at it like I have to hit a home run or anything like that, because I got guys right behind me that can pick me up, and we're a really good team, and we know it, and we really believe it, and we're gonna go into Nashville and have that chip on our shoulder.
Okay, any other questions for Connor? Okay, Connor, thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
We'll get Gavin on here in just a second, guys. Hey, Gavin, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. Okay, we're going to go to questions for Gavin Williams now.
Gavin, you've been obviously so good this year. I think that the regional was your first time leaving with a deficit. So how good did it feel just to see your teammates, pick you up and rally after a good game?
I didn't really worry about big hits. Just try to give my team the best chance to win, really.
Given the attention obviously that goes toward Kumar Rocker and the Vanderbilt pitchers, do you take a kind of an underdog mentality, or does that motivate you? Assuming you'll be kind of matched up against one of those guys. It's rare that you're an underdog, I guess, when you're on the mound.
I really don't look at it that way. Just look at it as another baseball game. You can't really worry about those type of things. The more you worry about it, the worse you're going to do.
How much are you looking forward to pitching in that environment, though? I mean, obviously you guys have been at home in previous postseason settings, but pitching that environment, how much are you looking forward to that?
It's going to be fun, I can tell you that. I've always dreamed about pitching in one of those places. I pitch at Mississippi State, so it can't be too much different than that.
Gavin, for you to this point to get here, and I've already asked about you a little bit here, but being able to, I guess, overcome a bit of injuries and even having the shorter season last year to get to the Super Regional, how rewarding is that for you? And what are just some things that you are looking forward to getting to this point?
Honestly, it's very rewarding, especially not being able to play that much last year. It's a big step, really.
Gavin, we haven't really got a chance to ask you this, but last year you obviously had a chance to get drafted and, make some money, but you kind of bet on yourself. What led you to, making that decision to come back for another year at ECU, and how do you think it's worked out?
I think it's worked out pretty good. I feel like I had people to prove that I can actually start and basically go as long as I can in the whole season.
Gavin, Connor talked about you guys being roommates, and there's a lot of talent in that room then. What's he like as a roommate? And you guys are both semifinalists for that big honor, the Golden Spikes Award.
I probably bug him a lot. I give him a lot of mess all the time. He's always getting an earful from me, so I feel like I'm making him better every day.
Have you guys ever faced off in intra-squad, and if so, how did that go?
Honestly, I don't even think we've faced off, really. I can't remember if we have.
Okay, are there any other questions for Gavin? Okay, Brian, I see you got one. Then Ronnie after that.
Coach said he wasn't sure about the rotation. He wanted to see how everybody was feeling. How are you feeling right now, and do you want the ball in game one?
I'm always feeling good. I always want the ball too. Doesn't matter if I'm going to be relieving, starting, I always want the ball.
Are you motivated from the regional, like Steven said, obviously, you left one time that you left, with the game still in doubt, kind of, does that motivate you at all for this weekend?
Yeah, I think everything's motivating, really. Always want to win. I know last weekend in the regional wasn't what I really predicted, but I can't really worry about that.
Okay, anything else for Gavin this afternoon? Gavin, thank you for your time. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Sure, thank you.